I am Jason. Thank you for tuning into this episode of Historically Marked. I am in downtown Collinsville, Illinois, outside the historic D.D. Collins house. And there's two historical markers here. One information kiosk based on the historic National Road, plus one sponsored by the Illinois State Historical Society. So I'm going to go ahead and show you those right now. That is the D.D. Collins house. I'll tell you more about that in a second. Well, later on, I should say. But here is the information kiosk sponsored by the National Road Association of Illinois. Now, Collinsville, Illinois has so much history to it. It is the horseradish capital of the world. And for anybody who's into roadside attractions, it has the world's largest ketchup bottle, as ketchup and tomatoes have been a major industry here. Well, not in the last 50 years, but and also it's got famous for Italian Fest, where the city celebrates its Italian heritage, where a lot of immigrants moved in during the 19th century and early 20th century. Plus it's got a lot of mining history, where, well, that's where this kiosk comes in. But okay, Main Street of Collinsville, which is that, well, it's actually split up into two. That's a one-way street which takes you east. But yes, Main Street has been thriving for many years, but we're talking about the horse and buggy days here. And there were also trolleys here at one time. So I wasn't, I'm not old enough to remember that, but but a lot of times there have been lots of businesses that have come and gone. And Main Street, yes, they have been rebuilding for a long time. A lot of restaurants and hobby shops and many other small businesses have moved in the last 10 years. So it is safe to say it is on the verge of renovation and completion, I should say. The public library and the city hall and the old fire building is also located on Main Street, which is just up that way. So basically this just talks about how Collinsville connected to a lot of county seats, state capitals, and so forth. And there was easy access to East St. Louis and St. Louis from here, thanks to the trolley. And it also talks about the National Road's demise. So up here, the streetcars go back to 1891, where it connected to Caseyville, East St. Louis, to here. Wow, interesting. And then it talks about what Main Street looked like back in the day and some of the shops. Interesting stuff. Going back to the coal miners, yes, they did make up a large part of the population back in the day. So in the second half of the 19th century, it explains more here, and 1922. And then here's that sidebar. So now I'm going to take you to that house. Here we go. So in a way, this is kind of a park here. You can tell it's been restored over the years, and they even got benches to sit, and I know they've had many events here at this house in recent years. So that is the front part of the Daniel Dove Collins house, which was added to the National Register of Historic Places in 2002. And in late 2019, this historical marker was dedicated by the City of Collinsville, Friends of the House, and the Illinois State Historical Society. So who was Daniel Dove Collins? Well, I mean, yeah, it's safe to assume that, it's not really safe to assume that he's the namesake of this city, but he was actually cousins of the family that founded the city. So a little trivia there for you. But this house was built in 1845, and him and his bride moved in here. And it's pretty much known for its architecture, the Greek Revival they call it. But one thing that is notable about Collins is he is the first president of the Collinsville Village Board, and he actually held board meetings at this house. Pretty cool. And again, this was the National Road, and this was like a plank road before, paved roads back in the day. Now that is a plaque that, of course, designates as part of celebrating the state of Illinois' bicentennial in 2018. This apple seed tree was planted. So who knows, maybe we'll see some apples here on this thing pretty soon. This here is a plaque dedicated to it. It was planted in 2017. Walking on the east side of the house. Oh man. So which way to the cellar? Okay, through here. Well, I can't get over how long these doors are. They really must have had a long staircase to get in there. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode of Historically Marked. I am in Collinsville, Illinois, right on Main Street, on the historic National Road, outside the Daniel Dove Collins house, built in 1845. All right, well, stay tuned for some more episodes, and please like and subscribe if you find this interesting. Thank you very much. Signing off.